So it is Saturday. Welcome back to another update. And today I actually thought I'm gonna come to the beach during the day. And the last few times it was always at night. So I thought maybe it's actually awesome to show you around how it looks like during the day. It's around 4 p.m. at the moment. I was actually coming here planning to do a little walk, but as you can see over there, it gets really dark, and I'm actually not sure how long it's gonna last like this until it gets here. So let's do a quick update today. And I actually took some notes today talking about separating my little update into business and personal life. So from a business perspective, my goal was to get 3 more products out last week. And in the end, I managed to get 1 out. I'm working on the second at the moment. I can feel some drops already. Okay, let's make it much more quick. I managed to get 1 out. It was much more complex than I thought, working on the second today. So the weekend is still not over, the week is not over, so I think I can finish the second one tomorrow. Then in terms of advertisement, I started Google Ads last week, and I actually restructured my campaign to, yes, the beach is so wide, but then walking just next right by him. Okay, I had to restructure my Google Ads campaign because I'm in a learning process as well right now to what's the best structure, and I'm learning a lot on YouTube as well. So for me at the moment, last week, I actually changed everything to all catch campaign because Google has these recommendations and it's shown in percentage. It's like these little things you want to complete, and it was like at 76% completion rate. And if you create a catch-all campaign, it actually bumps up to 96%. And so it's like a little gamification thing. And I wanted to complete that. But in the end, it turns out it's actually a little bit bullshit because it's not impacting the performance of your campaign. And I learned a lot during the week. And now I decided to focus on one product category first that has the highest margin for me and focus my entire budget on just that. And actually, also because before I was limiting my daily budget quite a bit, and also the CPC, cost per click, and I felt like I didn't get enough clicks in, so I didn't get enough impressions and clicks. And I think these kind of limitations at the beginning when Google has no data is a little bit tricky. So which is why I set the campaign to increase the budget from 10 to 20 bucks a day, and also focus on maximize clicks regardless the costs. So just to give the algorithm more space to play with. The other thing, actually, one of the wins for last week in terms of business is I created one of these big artworks in recent months, and I managed to get my first sale on it. It came through Google Ads actually. So yeah, it's funny because I just changed the campaign structure and then I get the sale. I don't know if it's because of my last setup that I just ruined, because now changing the campaign structure, I basically put Google back into a learning phase. So that was quite a big win because I know the concept works, and yeah, for higher margin products, which is great. And this new product, I'm also testing a new supplier with it because all the normal print-on-demand suppliers don't have this product. It's a large canvases, and a lot of them don't have these sizes. So that's a learning. I hope it's going to turn out well. Also for the customer to receive it. It's still in processing state, so it hasn't shipped yet. Let's see next week, hopefully. So in terms of life, I finished my first phase of my Invisalign treatment, had to go back last week to get my second round of trays. And the second round is now 18 trays. So I will share some updates about that. Hey guys, it's Wednesday today, and I wanted to come on and share some things of this week quickly. So yesterday I went to get my Invisalign checked, and the phase 1 for me was over yesterday. So I had my first 26 trays and made a ton of progress, and it looked really good so far. So I'm really happy with the progress. But last week, or wait, 2 weeks ago, I went in for a last check, and we decided to extend and get more trays. So at first I thought it was going to be only 10 trays to 15 trays, but in the end it's going to be 18. So it's going to add 4 more months to it. But I got to be honest, after the first phase, after the first 26 trays, I wasn't really super happy with the result, considering that Invisalign is quite expensive. So I was hoping we would add more trays to it. And now seeing the preview that I'm gonna blend in, I'm pretty happy with the result in 4 months. So I think it looks much better then. And I understand the process is super interesting and how the technology works. I learned quite a lot about teeth movements, and looking back on my photos from February before I started, it's such a night and day difference. And I can't wait for the end of the year and finish with the whole thing. Last week was also cool because one of our friends invited us for an ice bath session, which was my second ice bath session. It was actually quite cool. Second time doing ice bath with this boss.
Afraid already? At least I am.
It's good.
I'm not afraid today. The only person I have to beat is this
you.
one. The little one. My biggest competition over there.
Like this, Nora.
She doesn't even need to warm up. The first one I was a total wimp. It didn't last for longer than a minute, but this time actually lasted quite a bit longer, 5 minutes, and it felt great. And I think, I'm not sure why it was, but I think I was in a different mental state. And yeah, I hope I can do this a bit more often, because the feeling afterwards and then going to the gym after is pretty cool. In terms of personal development, I started, it's getting really windy. Closer and closer, the wind increase. Almost done. In terms of personal development, I started to take more protein in combination with creatine now, because for the last 6 months I haven't been really seeing improvements in terms of physical improvements, although I'm going to the gym 3 to 4 times a week. And I feel like the limitation came in after I did the math, and I realized I don't take enough protein. And now, so I made the decision, okay, maybe supplement my diet with some protein powder and see how the improvements gonna look like over the time of a month. Oh wow, it looks like it's getting better over there. So I'm actually able to go on a walk now. The clouds actually disappeared. I'm actually quite happy with it, because I came out to do a walk. I was a little bit bummed when I saw the dark clouds, but now it's actually very nice. I hope it's not too windy and too noisy. I've got my mic here and testing the little furry thing. The last thing I actually wanted to share with you this week is a learning from a dream that I had last week. Hey guys, I just came back from the gym, currently making my lunch, and wanted to share something, a dream that I had last night. But before that, I'll show you, this is my typical lunch. I make some eggs, have some protein, chicken, some boiled veggies, and a little bit of protein shake. So that's my typical lunch. So yeah, I wanted to come take this moment and share my dream from last night, because I woke up in the middle of the night and thought, what the fuck is this? I think dreaming is, I've been paying a lot of attention to my dreams, and I think it's really the language of the subconscious mind, and there's a lot of hidden messages in dreams, not in all dreams, but in power dreams. And a lot of times when things get crazy in my dreams, I'm really thinking about how is it reflecting, how is it playing out in my life, what lessons I can take from that. And last night I was going back to my elementary school, middle school time in Germany, and the scene was classroom. So I was sitting in a classroom with old schoolmates of mine that I knew from when I was back in elementary school. And the crazy thing is, like, out of nowhere, the kid that was sitting next to me was screaming, crying, and blaming me for a lot of things, and finger pointing and saying a lot of nasty things, basically. So I felt really bad in the moment, and I can't exactly remember what he said, but I just had the feeling of, like, I took a lot of blame on me, and everyone in the class would look at me. My old teacher, she would treat me kind of badly after, and I felt like this sense. Even the cafeteria lady, there was like a few buildings away. In that dream, she knew, everyone around me knew what was going on, and I felt like I was guilty for something that I didn't do, and then I had the sense that I have to make up for it, the sense that I had to become the nice guy in order to restore my reputation, and I would hold umbrellas for other kids in the rain and all that. And so fast forward, the whole dream was kind of like that, where I felt super bad. But then in the end, I was sitting in this classroom and I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? And I came to a realization that it's like, I don't belong here and I have to get out, and I'm not on this path like all the other kids. I don't care about finishing my degree because it's not going to serve me in life, and I'm on my own path. So in that moment I became lucid, and I was just walking out of the school. I was walking on the streets and I was like, this is cool. I'm like, fuck that, I'm never going back. I'm not here to please anyone. And this, I think, thinking about that dream now, it's really the lesson for me to step into my own power and listen to my intuition and not always trying to please people. That's at least the learning for me, because after I became lucid in that dream, I was like, what happens if I go back and, let's say, see all of them again? Like, I want to say something. So I walked back into the school, but then everyone was gone. It was an empty campus, and there was only one guy left. He was actually from my high school times, so he was not even there during elementary school, and he was asking like, did you overcome your trauma? And in that moment, I woke up, because it was such a, I found it very powerful, and I wasn't really sure when I woke up what to make of this, but now I think like this is such a good lesson in life. I'm on this journey right now, and a lot of times during my childhood, I would always think about what other people think, please other people, especially when it comes to family, please my parents, friends. And I'm at the point now where I don't give a damn, what other people think. And because this is my journey, and I don't want to do things just to please others. And in 60 years, looking back, I imagine, by the end of my life, I'm going to look back, and when I transition, someone is going to ask me, at the gates of heaven, did you actually do the most out of your life? And I don't want to look back and say, no, I lived in fear. And I want to be proudly standing there and say, I did the most out of my life, did all the things I wanted. I have no regrets for all the decisions that I made, and everything else, like, it doesn't faze me. So that's, for me, whole lesson, the stream. And I think looking back at the last 5 years, living this life and traveling around, working on my business, I already made that decision a long time ago that I'm not here to please anyone. I'm going to live my own life, and I will never go back to please anyone. And especially thinking about going back into the job. I hate working for other people as an employee. I'm the worst employee. I challenge stuff, I ask stuff, and people just don't like it. So, c'est la vie. And that is why I made the decision. I never want to go back to an office, work my ass off for someone else. And that is why I'm building my own business. And I wish a lot of people would trust more their gut feeling, and also trust more in their power to that they are able to do stuff, because we are so driven by fear. What if other people think bad of us? And that is why, what if we lose our reputation? It doesn't fucking matter, honestly. None of these things that we do on this planet really matters. So we're here to learn our own lesson. If we don't learn it, we come back and give it another round. So better learn it this round, right? That's it. I thought it would be interesting to share. So if you have crazy dreams, sometimes there's a good message in there. Listen to your dreams, write them down in the morning, and reflect, because this is really you. This is no one else talking to you other than your subconscious mind, maybe your soul. And trying to guide you into the right direction. And a lot of times it's really the thing we need to see. And these nightmare dreams, a lot of times it's also just going to the very extreme so you actually see it. If a dream is just fluffy and you can't remember it, so then the message might not be as important than other dreams, right? So think about it. That's it from my side. So I want to follow up on the learnings that I had with this dream and the lesson about people pleasing and staying in your own power and cutting out negativity. And this week, even more so, it has become even more clear to me that it is so important to reduce, or even really to the extreme, cut out the negative people in your life. And whenever, these moments when you mention things or give recommendations and that person is like, I don't like it. It's constantly like, I don't like it. And to me, these are not the people I want to surround myself with. And just negative people in general who just constantly complain. And I realized that I actually started a few years ago when I realized how, even when I started out with my journey, and today I barely have any contacts with my old friends from Germany anymore, because I realized that in the first years when I traveled and keeping in contact, it was always talking about the job, talking about the salary and how to get to the next salary bump and what company, when you're going to change the company, when you're going to look for a new job. It was never conversations that were about, hey, what kind of projects are you working on the weekend to get out of the fucking rat race, or what kind of skills do you learn that goes beyond your job description at work. It was always these boring ass talks, and I realized it's not for me. That is why over time I just minimized the contact, and I surround myself with people, mostly people who build their own businesses, who have more ambitions, travelers with more ambition in life. These are the conversations that actually give me energy when talking, brainstorming about ideas and talking about economy, world economy, traveling, and all this kind of stuff. That really gives me energy. But still, when you travel, you still come across a lot of negative people, and I'm just so tired of it. I'm just so tired of complainers. And this week, I made the decision to be a bit more extreme about cutting these people out, and also just to keep my inner peace. It's also one of the reasons I don't really watch news or consume news like others, because the news is never really positive. It's always negative. News is not news anymore, really. News is like, it used to be like, here's what happened and that's it, right? But nowadays news is really, here's what happened and here's our opinion of how you need to think about this, how you need to feel about this, and this is news today. So it's totally manipulative. That is why I don't really consume it. The thing that I need to know, it's really, other people will tell me anyways. So if 3 people tell me in a row about things that happen in the world, then I will start to listen. But otherwise, I look at more world economy kind of news, but everything else, all the other bullshit about politics and so on, I don't really care about. And if you watch really successful people in the business, they don't care about if the economy goes down, if the stock market goes down or goes up. They make money no matter what. And that's kind of a mindset that distinguished from people who achieve something and others. So that's really the last thought I want to share with you. And also with this beautiful view on Da Nang. I feel really blessed, to be honest, living this lifestyle, having this life for almost 5 years now. Every day I wake up, without any alarm clock, I wake up, I have my own plans, I work on my business, I just focus on my business, I go to the gym whenever I want, I eat healthy, and I'm really grateful that I made the decision to just leave 5 years ago. And even though sometimes my family at the beginning didn't really know what I was doing, I didn't really know what I was doing, but for some reason, like, I felt it. And now look at our world these days. Remote work has become so normal. Back in the day, it was not really normal. Not a lot of companies did it, allowed remote work, and now building an online business has become so much more easy working from other countries. And it's so much more necessary also, because look at our world. I mean, if you think that you're really safe in a job, man, I hope you learned your lessons in the last few years, really, because if you don't have multiple income streams these days, you're fucked. You're really fucked, and people don't want to listen. And that is why I can only encourage, because I'm coming from the creative industry. I am a designer from a background. I actually studied architecture and then switched to design because I didn't see any future as an architect in Germany. That is why I changed to digital design, so I can do this kind of stuff, like work remote. And man, you need to, like, the design, the creative industry sometimes is so exhausting, because you basically burn your entire creative juice to build someone else's stuff, and that's the end of it. And designers are, at least back in the day, not really valued in most companies. It was always a job that needs to be done to make things pretty, but it was never a core strategy for most companies. That has changed in recent years a little bit, but it's still designers or creatives have so many good skills, like building products, and they just don't want to learn the business side of it. They just don't want to learn how to build their own business. And there are quite a few now starting their own YouTube channels and building Notion templates and sell Notion templates online, yada. But yeah, I can only encourage you. That is why I'm documenting my journey. I'm aiming high with my businesses, so that one day all these videos that I'm making now, I can look back and be proud of, and I can show to others, this is how the journey went. It wasn't always easy, but it will be worth it. So that's my goal with it. And as a last, so if you ever think about coming to Vietnam, Vietnam is getting very, very popular these days. This is what you can get. It's during the summer right now. The beaches are very white. Normally it's not raining. Normally the weather is very nice. So in the spring, it's actually the perfect time to come here. But yeah, lots of resorts, very peaceful compared to other places. Yeah. With that being said, I hope you guys had a good week, and I will catch you in the next update. Bye bye.